Hey Sam, do you want to safely hold a fireball in your hands?
Yeah?
Well then let's go. Hadouken!
Oh, we're coming for you. Got some learning to do. No, we don't know Kung Fu, cause we're science ninjas. Woo!
Scientists!
Hey Sam,
Hey,
I'm going to show you today how to make a Hadouken.
a Hadouken?
A Hadouken!
Oh,
A fireball.
that sounds cool and hot.
And while we're at it, we're going to show you a little bit about specific heat capacity and how water keeps things just the right temperature.
Wow, isn't that dangerous?
You know, normally it would be, but today we're going to be holding fireballs in our hand and teaching your kids about environmental science and a little bit of chemistry.
I'm a science ninja.
In terms of teacher prep time, how much work do you think this is going to take, Darren?
Well, the good news is not much. This is a fairly simple demo that only requires some very easy to find materials.
Great. In terms of safety, fireballs sound pretty dangerous.
You are 1,000,000% correct. Although this is a very simple demonstration, this without proper safety precautions is not the safest to do, especially if you're not prepared. There is absolutely a real risk of setting yourself or a student on fire if you do not follow the safety precautions we're going to teach you. So the safety level on this demonstration is definitely in the moderately high range there. But with the right precautions and enough practice, this demo can be very, very safe.
Great. And for excitement levels, the students will be pretty excited about this, right?
In terms of excitement, Sam, this is off the chain. You're going to be shooting flames out of your hands, and that's pretty amazing for any science ninja. All right, let's loop back to safety. First of all, fire is dangerous, and it should be respected as such. Although we're going to teach you how to safely do this, please keep in mind that you will have thousands of degrees literally in your hands. The margin of error is extremely low for this.
Keep an eye out for our ninja tips throughout this video to keep you and your students safe. For your first few times, do this demo with another teacher present. Practice this demo until you feel confident that you can safely present it to your students. That means keeping you and your students safe at all times.
Consult your school administrator and health and safety officer before doing this demo.
For this demo, you will need a rolling cart or a separate table.
You'll also need 2 buckets.
One will be your danger bucket, which holds dish soap, water, and later on your methane flame bubbles. Ours is red.
The other bucket will be your safety bucket filled with cold water.
You'll need methane gas, a container to hold it, and a long stem lighter.
Use your classroom table or chairs to create a physical barrier between you and your student audience, ensuring you have clear sight lines. Also, make sure you have a fire blanket handy to put out any unwanted flames.
Ensure you are aware of the safety procedures in your school so that you know what to do if there is an accident. Safety is no joke, but we can have fun suiting up.
It's time for
Safety Suit Up!
Darren, wrong suit. There we go.
I'm a science ninja. I'm a science ninja.
Put soap into the danger bucket. Mix the soap, but do not make bubbles. If you have a helper, have them stand on the safety bucket side.
Soak your arms up to the elbows in the safety bucket. Don't forget to roll up those sleeves.
Create bubbles in the corner of the danger bucket with the methane. Just start with a handful of your methane bubbles.
Soak your arms again in the safety bucket.
Capture the bubbles in 2 hands by scooping underneath. Extend arms out fully over the safety bucket.
Give the room a warning that you're about to light the bubbles. Ignite the lighter and place it over the bubbles and pull back immediately.
Hadouken! Fantastic, Sam!
That was so fun! That was really big. Every time is really exciting. I think the kids would love this. But what's the concept that I'm trying to teach them with this demo?
Good. Beyond the fact that you can safely
other
hold
than-
fireballs in your
yes.
hand, the name of the game here is combustion. And combustion, whether you're teaching your Science 10s, the 6 types of reactions, or your junior Science Ninjas, just chemical reactions in general, combustion is the idea of having a hydrocarbon, which in this case is methane, and all hydrocarbon is a fuel. So you have your hydrocarbon plus the oxygen in the air reacting to produce 2 brand new things. Carbon dioxide, which is the air that you breathe out of your mouth, as well as water. So together the reaction would be CH4 and oxygen in the air produces carbon dioxide and water, which is a
Cool.
combustion reaction.
Cool. That's a pretty simple reaction too. I feel like I could even show that to my middle years. And
Yep.
well, we have this crazy reaction happening like literally in your hand. How do I explain why I'm not
In
on
the ER?
fire?
Yeah, why
in
you're
the
not-
ER. Why didn't I go to the hospital
Well,
today?
to blow your mind even more, that flame that came out of your hand was probably thousands of degrees Celsius. Yet, we can feel it. Your arms and hands are cool. And the reason why is because of water's unique specific heat capacities.
Specific heat capacity.
That's right. So you notice that I got you to really soak up your hands twice, right?
Once before the bubbles and then again.
Now, as amazing a science ninja you are, what saved you there was the specific heat capacity of water, which in a simple explanation is a substance's ability to absorb energy or be very stubborn in changing temperature. So this
Okay.
water doesn't want to get hotter or get colder.
Right.
Right? So in this case, you got this giant flame. Instead of it transmitting all that energy to your arms, it protected you. It absorbed all that
Yeah.
energy, and instead of it going to your arms, the water sucked up all that extra energy.
That's amazing. Well, where can I see this playing out in the real world? Like why? Because obviously it happened with my hands, but that doesn't happen every day.
Well, water is a really good friend to us in that it not only can protect your hands from a giant flame, if there's a big body of water, like say the Pacific Ocean where we live, right?
yes.
It absorbs all that solar energy that would otherwise make our summers ridiculously hot or really, really cold, right? So water allows our temperatures to be really temperate. But do you have any friends who live really inland?
Actually, my parents used to live in Toronto, and I remember going to Toronto where it's like minus 40.
Yeah, or
Super
like plus
cold.
30
In
in
the
the
summer, yeah.
And it's because they don't have a big body of water with a big specific heat capacity to absorb all that energy and to be resistant to the change.
Water is a real good friend.
It sure is.
Water is a real. There's something to that. Water is a real good friend.
2, 3, 4. Water is a real good friend. I said water is a real good friend. If you got thermal burns, it'll take them instead. 'Cause water is a real good friend. It's got a high SHC, that's specific heat capacity. Man, it takes so long to heat, but that's better for you and me. So don't be scared when things burn to high degrees, 'cause water is a real good friend. Water is a real good friend. I said water is a real good friend. If you got thermal worries, it'll take them instead, 'cause water is a real good friend. I got some fun CH4, that's some methane and more. Now the oxygen in the air can do some chemical parkour. Once the reaction is sparked, some hot new bonds will be formed. Good thing water is a real good friend. Yeah, water is a real good friend. I said water is a real good friend. If you got thermal worries, it'll take them instead, 'cause water is a real good friend. Its molecules are like magnets, they like each other a lot. While methane might lose its cool, H2O won't get too hot. So our planet's a nice place to live on, while Pluto is not, 'cause water is a real good friend. Water is a real good friend. Come on, we said water is a real good friend. If you got thermal worries, it'll take them instead. instead, 'cause water is a real good friend. Here we go. When water heats up and starts to warm, those funny shaped molecules don't wanna be torn apart 'cause of that polarity. H2O got familiarity with the won't get too close even when it's real cold. Remember, heat is kinetic energy. Living on the coast is the place to be. It's a place to see water's chemistry. The winter is cold, the summer is toasty. Shorelines are what keep us green, you see. But water can't be a friend everywhere. Deserts get hot when the water's not there, and then they get cold when there's nothing with heat to share. So water has its limits, and we should play within it. If the earth's a flame bubble, well gee, we're in trouble. So even though it might be our end, water is a real good friend. Water is a real good friend. Come on, water is a real good friend. I said water is a real good friend. If you got thermal worries, it'll help all it can, 'cause water is a real good, water is a real good friend.
Wow. Sam, water really is a good friend.
Yeah, and I learned it because of this awesome demo. Well, that's our time. I'm Sam.
And I'm still Darren, and you just learned how to safely hold a fireball in your hand and be a science ninja.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification button down below.
And if you know a fellow teacher who would like to level up their science game and be a science ninja, please consider sharing this video.
Until next time, keep being a science ninja in your classroom.
Hadouken!
Oh, we're coming for you. Got some learning to do. No, we don't know Kung Fu, 'cause we're science.